Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tina with To the Inner Wild. I hope you can hear me okay. Today in practice, I'm going to go ahead with something more comfortable. Obviously, Spirit wants me to focus. And I know that she, Spirit is helping me heal. I'm going through something very difficult and painful right now. And I don't know what to tell you, except I'm here to carry through practice, regardless of what's going on in my life. If I can self-manage, then that means that I can bring that energy forth to you guys. And I think that's most important, to see real time the cycles, the cyclical nature of life as we proceed ahead. Not everything is pleasant, So, knowing all of that, I want to go ahead and make sure. We are bringing optimal energy here, because that's what we do in real life, right? So, Spirit, thank you for joining me. Thank you for protecting me. Anytime I get like Tibetan singing bowls, like a meditative playlist on my thumbprint radio station that's very personalized to my liking, that's just supposed to recommend a way. Oh gosh, the smoke is suspended. Negative energy here. So we actively transmute because we do have that power. Yes, we do that. That is our intent. We transmute what's within and amongst us in our field. Yes? So what I was saying is that so they push different suggestions out. Look at the bottom of the deck, magic. You guys are magic. We are magic, yes? 3 is, if you saw one of my last daily focus card reads, 3 is a number of creativity, of almost like stardom, spotlight. So being the, creative, coming up with creative solutions with your intuition, the magic behind the scenes of life, being on stage, so to speak, that each of us are, right? The characters we play, the roles we play, choose to play, our supporting roles, and whether that be antagonist or protagonist, right? So, I'm going to actively use this coral that arose less than 10 minutes ago as energy to, like, as a lesson learned, actively learning, right? That we can make the most out of our present issues at hand, right? So anyway, with this playlist that was coming on, I noticed that whenever something like Tibetan singing bowls comes through, that Spirit is coming through for me to help heal me, help heal the situation. And that's how I know I'm not alone, because this rarely ever comes on. Rarely. I have such a varied playlist that, the magic comes through. So I'm trying to be a lot more lax, with myself, less self-judgment, less negative self-talk, because there's more than enough negativity out there that we need to balance the scales of justice, right? for all, not just for self. And with that in mind, with the collective whole in mind, I feel that heightened sense of responsibility and accountability helps drive me forward to being my best. Yes? Because I'm not just speaking the collective whole as adults. You got to think how comprehensive that is, to not just our matrix or surroundings, but even different age groups, those that are in their deathbeds, those that are, in a coma, those that are, our children, our newborns, the ones that get the first hand at life, however cruel or kind that may be. So we have that energy within us, and we want to go ahead and project our best for the sake of all. Yes? So that's what I'm seeing now. My focus is driven more on the collective scope. And, whatever works for you, is great, but I'm just telling you what works for me and what has always worked for me, but now it's more evident than ever. When toxicity comes your way, whether that be in cyclical patterns that you thought you were rid of, whether that be self-produced or inflicted by external forces, to produce new results, you have to try new formulas, right? It's not just persistence in constantly getting at it, chipping away at it. You need to chip at, different angles as well, right? So, that's, oh look, focus. How did that even, I just started, this is the bottom of the deck after a few shuffles. Focus, you guys. 24. The last time I said 24 was like a whole number. I feel like it's a whole number because we only have 24 hours in the day, right? In human allotments of time, right? So you have to really figure out the me time, the self grounding time, where that fits in. I think that was in a Stargate read. But anyway, yes, use that Sagittarian energy and focus so that you have that straight line path, that target to hit the bullseye, right? And to do that, you got to figure out where that fits in within your 24-hour day, right? Between meals, rest, and all of that, right? And your frivolities, because we all have them, right? In some aspect of escapism. Not all frivolities, though, are identified as escapism, mind you. Okay, so the smoke has gone away. It has depleted instead of lingering, hovering over the air. Hovering in the air. So that's good. We're transmuting well. So there's no wind in here. So that's good news, right? So Spirit, I'd like to go ahead and invite you in again as a moderator to the energies of the collective whole. Our spirit guides, however form they come through. They are divine energies of love and light, whether that be comprised of our ancestors, our star families, our elders, our spirit animals, any form of divine beings here for our highest good. I'd like to go ahead and invite you in. All other energies of lower vibrations can sit outside of our circles and keep their energy to themselves. We are an inclusive circle, but with healthy boundaries, which means that we would like to go ahead and provide the opportunity for all to grow and illuminate, because that is our sole purpose here. Correct? Correct. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for protecting this circle. Thank you, Spirit, for helping moderate and align these energies of the collective whole for our prospective viewers. This includes you and I timelessly. Oh look, bottom of the deck again. Gratitude. Yes, we are thankful. Always, always, you guys. Always thank your spirit guides. Whenever possible, even if you do not foresee any issues down the road, invite them in. Sometimes you don't know if something's broken or amiss until you invite them in to provide more light and insight, yes? And thank them for the light that they shine, because they are illuminating your path. That is their sole purpose, to guide you with spirit, literally. So let's go ahead and pick out a card for a daily focus card today. This might not load until Father's Day, which is tomorrow. Happy Father's Day, guys, to all, including to single mothers out there who have to take on that both yin and yang role and try to create balance. It is such a hard thing to do, to keep mindful of in a single income household with however many kids you may have. So thank you, Divinity. It's key. Remember, however bad you feel, if you're a single parent, that you are a divine being, and to honor it, because you were divine before kids, right? And you have to set that example of honoring self, practicing in self-love, finding time within that 24-hour day, right? Okay, a single card. And that's just the best example that you can set for your children, is to self-love. They are our future. We got it again. It flipped out, but then this one flew out. Transformation, guys. That's oh my gosh, look, you guys. This flipped up on the deck, right? But this is the one that flipped out on the outside, right? So you got 20 and 19 consecutive numbers. How cool is that? Okay, 20. You are divine love incarnate. Whatever your question, know that love is the source, the question, and the answer. Drawing this card invites you to proceed with love over fear. No matter what your situation or relation, proceed only from a place of unconditional love and understanding. Meditate when you want to feel more love in its purest form, and to connect to others in a more heart-centered way. You know, a really good friend told me that whenever someone projects negativity onto you, kind of scapegoating you or gaslighting you, or making you feel any way beneath them or beneath any other person, any stranger, whenever they try to take a dig at you, making you somewhat trying to, in the attempts to make you feel less than dirt itself, actively re-script it, okay? Because whatever you're taking in, even just staying silent, you are allowing your being to digest that. You are letting that in your aura, those negative vibrations that are trying to penetrate, and that are really spoken out of ego to a protective quality, trying to minimize someone else so that that negative entity can somewhat, in effect, bring themselves up, right? By default, if they're bringing you down, that heightens them already. So that is a strategy, an enactment of pain, misdirected pain, misdirected anger. So if you act in a divine way, because Spirit says that when you see others, try to see the divine in them. Now, if they are not acting in a divine light, well, seek back to self. Honor your divinity, right? And with that, when you do that, when you're honoring yourself as part of the divine, think of yourself as a temple, right? Are you going to badmouth and cuss inside of a temple? Are you going to allow yourself to be broken down in a place that conducts, the holy sacraments of baptism, marriage, confirmation, first communion, all of that? No. There is a rightful way. There's an act of respect that you will allow within that temple, right? Within this, even the parking lot of your holy, your sacred space, right? So, if someone is not acting so divine, what do? You find compassion. You understand the root cause, the source of that pain, and you willingly forgive that. You know where that comes from. You may understand the pain associated with it. You may understand how trapped that individual feels and not validate it, okay? Because we have healthy boundaries, right? So what do? We actively rescript it. We do not allow that energy in. So as much as it triggers you and tries with the same script, the same patterns, a friend once told me to say, I reject this negativity. I reject this negativity. I reject this negativity. I do not accept this negativity. I refuse this negativity. I do not accept this verbal abuse. I do not accept this verbal abuse. I do not accept this verbal abuse. And then in my head, non-verbally, I'll say, I am worthy. I am lovable. I am love. I know who I am. I am a divine being. I think, act, am love and light. Something to that effect, but verbally, because you engage with all of your senses, it has a more empowering effect, like as if you were manifesting, right? So this is what I do, and this is a new lesson for me, because I've tried it, tiptoed across it, and didn't actually follow through with it. I tried it once or twice, and it did work a little bit, but when pellets are like paintball session of ammo are thrown out to you, then you throw back, you rescript it. It's like just crossing out those lines, negating them. They're null and void, they're null and void, they're null and void, right? I do not accept this negativity. I do not accept this negativity. I will not allow your negativity to disturb my being. I will not allow your negativity to disturb my being. And I say it at least 3 times, and I change the script a little bit every now and then, because I want to hear myself. I want to verbalize it. I want to get through. 3 is a magic number. So that is what I tend to do. I just alter it a little bit here and there, and those things actually do work. And I feel like that's the most pacifist thing that I can do, especially if abuse or negativity or toxicity is thrown around in the presence of my children. So it's not an act of fighting. It's not an act of acceptance, like as a doormat, a punching bag. I'm not a doormat. I am a human being. I'm a divine being, just as every single person is. So what do? I role model, okay? That is my choice. I say I choose to use my energy for good. I choose to use my energy for love and light. I choose, and sometimes I'll close my eyes to go ahead and focus these energies, take out the rest of the stimuli of the world, and I am one with that essence, that being, that higher ground, okay? So I want you guys to go ahead and try that, okay? However simple the answer may sound, too good to be true, try it. I felt a lot better. Normally my blood pressure would raise. I used to wear my Fitbit HR band on me so that I could gauge my how I would react. And you know what? I don't do that anymore. I don't anticipate it. I expect better from myself because I believe in the energies of the divine, of what I have to resource from the divine. Okay? We all have that. So even though, my methods are the methods of almost like a Heyoka empath, in mirroring energy, so that that's like the last resort. I really try not to do that, because give people a taste of their own medicine so that they can kind of snap out and see, you know. I do that as a last resort, because it's actually tough love. It is tough love and a hard decision to make, but nonetheless, it's a saving grace. If you are meeting resistance, well, you can't really meet resistance with the resistance, but you can at least shine a light on the resistance, right? Especially if it follows out of your norm, then someone's like, oh, that's weird, why are you doing that? Like, it kind of snaps them out a little bit. But, understand the course of action, how it can create a snowball effect of anger, of release, like a volcanic effect, and it just spurts out everywhere, right? It has a huge radius. Think about a volcano, how far the reach can be, right? Damaging, how far damaging that reach can be. So be ready for it, anticipate it, create an aura, a shield for yourself in rescripting that, rescripting it over and over, right? Yes, protective energy for yourself, and also implanting the positive role modeling behavior for all that are, surrounding. Because, flare-ups can happen in public. Flare-ups can happen in front of young children. Flare-ups can happen possibly in the middle of this video. I'd rather not, actualize it, but, there are certain realities. So what do we do? I pray after I am able to separate, okay? And it really does help. It's such a grounding effect. And this music is still playing, and it's helping me greatly. I don't feel like I'm having a breakdown, guys. And normally I would. And normally this fighting would go on for hours on end. And Spirit tells me I should speak my story. But I'm still in the middle of it, so it's hard. It's hard to make a judgment of vulnerability. Understanding how many rocks can be thrown at you, not just from another party, but other parties you don't even know, social forum, and I understand that, but I understand there's a greater need for people who are encountering negativity on different levels, and they need help, they need support, and that is my purpose, to help others. However painful that may be. This is part of shadow work. This is like active shadow work. This is before it gets like deeply seated and rooted within. Okay? And sometimes it, the deeply seated, uproot. They grow from within us and project outwards. That is our reality. Through every single choice that we make. So we have a responsibility to ourselves. Okay, divinity, remember your divine being, however stressful your situation may be. Sometimes you could be on the other end of being the antagonist, the one with the rock in hand, right? Ready to throw it. Or maybe you have two rocks, both hands. So think about your position in life and how you want to live your life on that stage of yours, yes? Because this is day one. This is day one from your understanding of what you just took in here on this level. Okay? It's never too late to start again. Okay. Oh, by the way, I thought this was a key, okay? But this is the Norse Viking rune for love. How amazing is that? Divinity, compassion. And you know what? I think it's no mistake that it looks like a key. Compassion is key. Love is key. Yes? I love it. Okay, now we have transformation. The transformative powers of acting in a place of love. Yes? That's what it is. Love has the most transformative power of all. Let's read that. The butterfly goes through many stages before it becomes the beautiful creature it is. Oh, look, and pink, that's the heart chakra. Orange is the sacral chakra. It is one of passion, of drive. Honor your process and allow your beauty to be seen by all. Wear more color to help announce the arrival of your exquisite transformation. You guys, do not underestimate the power of color therapy, okay? Even people who are interior decorators, they understand the psychology and the history behind what color therapy does. Blue is calming, red is, is supposed to be more like, how do you say it? Like it, like, brings up your appetite, like it's a sexy, like, kind of color that makes you thirsty or hungry, It's supposed to revive those senses. Alluring, right? What else? Yellow is happy, uplifting color. So just understand the energies, the vibratory states in your subconscious level of what that can do for you. So just entertain it, at least on like a very minuscule scale, like low key. Like I'm low key spiritual, right? Start somewhere, right? Okay. Meditate on this when you want to call in more beauty, grace, and acceptance during times of transition. We are all going through transformative states, aren't we? It's just whether or not we choose to follow through to become that butterfly. Or trapped in the cocoon. I've seen that in my garden time. Oftentimes, there have been 2 or 3 cocoons that did not flourish. Something happened to them, I don't know what. Anyway, the butterfly is a powerful symbol of transformation. And then when you look at this, 19 in numerology equals 10. So 10 is completion. Yes. And to the single digit, it's 1, right? So not only is it an end, it's also a beginning. Cool, huh? Very cool. I love it. Do you see, like, the form of it? It's very symmetrical, which means that it's balanced. It's not exactly symmetrical, and that's not the point of it, because that's what beauty is. It's the flaws, the asymmetry, right? That you get to really adore, right? The details of what makes it like so, right? It's not man-made, it's not that exactness, right? And what was I going to say about that? Oh yes, the balance between both sides, right? And it allows for efficient growth, right? Efficiency, balance. So I just noticed that. Yeah. Oh, and then like how small this part is, that bottom flap, it reminds me of Finding Nemo, that Disney movie, where Nemo has that little flipper on one side and the dad has been like so overprotective. He had that lack mindset burden because of the trauma that his dad experienced, when they first started a family. So he lost his life in a traumatic experience. And so, he handicapped his son because of that little flipper, perceiving that he was less able. So, anyway, what turned out to be was anything but. So, don't handicap yourself just because you feel like, you're not perfect, right? Because we're not all perfect, right? But our adversities, our little quirks, make us so beautiful and actually so able, right? So much more able, right? It's the beauty of life, the miraculous little quirks here and there that give us an advantage. All right, the bottom of the deck is power. Look at that, the horns, and then the circle, which is like a all-encompassing, whenever you say something is complete, whenever there's completion, it comes back full circle, right? Okay, the power number is 46 again, you guys. So 4 plus 6, of course, is 10. 10, of course, equals to the same completion, and so ending as well as beginning, you guys. So, how interesting is that? I'm going to read that for you guys, okay? For all of us, anyway. Okay, you are powerful. You are worthy. You are sovereign. See how important? Those are three, these are like in bold, uppercase, right? So this is the importance of rescripting, of positive affirmations that are active, that if they could be used at any time, use them during a time of adversity. Those are the times that they hold the greatest power, because it's almost like, how like you have a power pose before a meeting, they say that psychologically it has an effect, a positive effect on you. So these are your power phrases, right? To revive that instinct within you. Drawing this card invites you to take your place in the starring role of your life. I kid you not, I cannot make this stuff up. Spirit works with us. I was talking about the stage and all of that. Okay, so there's no need to play small here. You are being granted permission to display your strengths for all to see at this time. New moon is coming, and I think there's an eclipse coming, and there's retrograde and all of that. So, you're going to be faced with adversities, repeat adversities, transgressions, right? Anytime I feel like someone trespasses, like, against me, and I notice that it's also taking responsibility for self, a projection maybe, because like attracts like in the law of the universe, right? Law of attraction of the universe. Maybe I didn't intend on attracting that, but, maybe it's a mirror to me. It's a Heyoka way of the universe showing the empathic version of itself, that it's mirroring energies. So understanding that, I have to project good in order for good to mirror back, right? So, I forget where I was going directly with that, but in the new moon coming, you set your intentions for them to manifest, right? In the cyclical nature, like our ancestors did, yes? There's a time and place for everything, right? So let's go ahead and allot them to the appropriate places. Delegate your energy accordingly, yes? Okay, so permission to display your strengths for all to see at this time. It does no service for you to hide your gifts. Drawing this card can also indicate that it is time for you to call your power back from any situation where it may have been taken or given away. We are actively transmuting, and we are successful with the partnership of spirit. Your spirit guides, our spirit guides. Okay? Because I don't think I would have done the reading if it weren't for the transgressions experience. And okay, that's what I was trying to say. Anytime I feel like someone trespasses against me, like in full force, with pure intention to do so, without understanding the psychology of what brought them there, I do the prayer. Okay, I do whatever prayer I know, and so I say that, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. Amen. That is the key area that I feel holds the most power. That is where I stop kind of dead in my tracks. I slowly pace through each word to empower them, because that is how I truly feel that I want forgiveness for my transgressions, as well as that of forgiving others. Law of attraction, like attracts like. That's how the universe works. Whether we set intention to manifest. Hey you guys, it's Tina back with To the Inner Wild. Okay, so I didn't get to finish this part. It just cut me off. I think I had low memory. Okay. The crown of Isis, and sometimes the crown of Hathor, is made up of the sun disk and cradled in the cow's horns. The sun and the cow were both worshipped in ancient Egypt as a symbol of the different but equal powers of the feminine and masculine. We're talking about the divine in oneself. The transformation and the balance of both sides, right? Both wings, right? And acceptance, and using the asymmetries, our quirks, our personal quirks, as advantages, right? And then now we have power, which is the equal powers that are different but the same. Level of feminine and masculine. How interesting is that? That was the bottom of the deck. And then right after that is gratitude yet again, you guys. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, it's number 35. It's 35, which boils down to 8, which is, again, in numerology, expresses 35, and okay, boils down to 8. When you turn 8 to the side, it's the infinity symbol, right? It's balancing, like the Two of Pentacles, right? The act of justice, like the scales, right? As well. So 35. A deep honoring is present. Give and feel great thanks now for whatever blessings have arrived or are en route to you now. Drawing this card invites you, and that reminds me, okay, if you guys are working on something wholeheartedly, whether that be a relationship or a relationship with self, or a passion project, a work project, whatever it may be, if you're not seeing the benefits of it, even like raising a newborn child, okay, if you're not seeing the output you expect of yourself, or what society has programmed in your thoughts of what should be, thank God for the blessing as it is. Even before you know it to be. Even before you can value it to be what you think it should be, correct? Right? You know what, you guys, if you guys are doing new moon rituals, or just start out with a gratitude list, okay? I think that's why this is here, okay? To shed light on what is in excess, so you can remove it and bring room for more, create more room for more abundance, right? So you value what you already have that actually does bring light to your life. And then you can appreciate more of what is to come after negating the influences that don't. Okay? Think about your temple, your house, your physical home, right? There's only so much that you can fit in and consider abundance, right? So do your spring cleaning, yeah? They are often used in magical rituals, memorials, and to honor sacred passages in life. So make no mistake about it, okay, that this came through for the new moon, setting intentions. Okay, now this is a timeless reading, so whatever you, and you know what? I know that this partly is for us to sit together and to thank Spirit and our spirit guides for the wonderful ways that they come through. Whether or not we expect it, they always come through to bring us light, to shed light on our situation, for us to grow together, to understand what where the gaps are and what needs to be resolved, however painful that may be. In the end, it does bring joy. It brings abundance. They are all acts of love. We are all trying our best. Some are more advantaged than others in how they perceive the world to be, their inner and outer world. Yet we are all abundant, and some need more light than others. We are all divine. We all hold power. It's just whether or not we choose to take seat in that power and wield it accordingly to transform with love. Yes? To become something which can soar great heights. Yes? Okay, you guys, that was your reading for today. Our reading for today. I wanted to thank you guys as well for your support. My camera angle switched, so I'm trying to make eye contact, okay? So I wanted to thank you guys for your support, your energies, your positivity, your optimism, your intentions to get better, to learn more, to improve, to and it inevitably, whether you intend or not, gives back to the collective whole. So I thank you guys once again for your support. And if you'd like to go ahead and continue that ripple effect, please hit like, share, subscribe, comment especially. That holds great power. Investing your inputs, your insight to whatever, whatever was conveyed, and, your own personal experiences, all of that. It's helpful in the algorithms as well, to push this out to others that would definitely need to hear this, need that exposure to just kind of like drop in, like, all of a sudden, because, on this journey of mine, I have also encountered surprising ways, surprising timely resources that just came in through divine timing. Just when I needed to encounter them. So, remember, miracles do happen, low key and high key and whatever else in between. It's all there for us to create abundance, to illuminate each other's paths. To have that transformative power, right? Okay, you guys, we did a great job here. Thank you once again, and have a great night. Have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.